Well, good evening and welcome to Town Talk. And we've got an old standby here. He's back after being at the town meeting last night, which was something else. It was something else. It started out bad for me because I got there early, got a good parking spot. I start setting up the camera, and the shoe on the camera for the tripod was the wrong one.
Oh, no.
Oh, so now I gotta run out the door, run back home, get the key to the studio, come down here, get in here, find another tripod, find the right shoe, get back. I go back, there's not a parking spot left.
Oh, no, I was parked down by the lake.
Yeah, well,
I was all the way down by the lake.
I went up and parked by the loading dock.
There you go.
And thank to Phil Sear, he gave me a ride to my car at the end of the night. Because I didn't get out of there till after 11 o'clock.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was quite the meeting, and but a lot of things happened. We know the biggest thing. The biggest thing was the school vote.
Really?
Yeah,
Is that why all those people were there?
Yeah, because right after the vote, it pretty well thinned out.
Of course it does.
But there was a strategy. You missed it.
I caught it in there. I caught it in the paper.
Yeah.
And that's you know.
And that was on the part of supporters. They wanted to make sure, and they knew it was going to happen, that there would be a recall later on when the crowd was thin, and there was a good chance that the only ones left were the ones who wouldn't vote for it.
Right.
So that would then turn that vote around. So they called for it immediately before anyone left. Well, you had left, but
I had left.
so before most left.
The moment they said that they were going to do a secret ballot, I said, I got to go. Because I knew that was going to be a disaster.
I didn't I didn't vote for the secret ballot. I would have went. Look at. I'll stand up and vote the way I feel. I don't care. I'm
That's
not
right.
going to hide it.
Well, you got people that, they don't want their name. What was the difference? It was 583 to 51.
Right.
What the heck is the difference?
I know.
You knew the way that
Yep.
the meeting was stacked that it was going on the ballot. It doesn't matter because when it gets on the ballot, that's when you get behind closed doors and you vote the way
Then you can
feel.
vote whatever you want and tell anybody whatever you want.
That's right.
You know.
The problem is now is the misinformation of how much it's going to cost,
Yep.
and that's problematic.
Well, not the cost. How much the taxes are going to go up.
To each person,
Right. Right. You might say, yeah, to the individual homeowners.
right?
And it's the same system that was used for the high school, but no one noticed it. But the high school did end up getting paid off early.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a virtue to that. But the thing is, no one knew that. It was brought up last night, and everyone went, huh? Shocked because it is quite a spread, quite a difference.
Oh yeah.
It's about almost $100 per quarter more. So you're talking $800 versus $500.
And that's
I'm
only
using round numbers.
And that's if you base everything on $301,000 for a home.
Yeah.
But your mansion would be more.
No, I do come in around that, but there's a lot of houses in this
Oh,
town
hell
that
yes.
come in a lot higher.
Oh yes.
In fact, there's some of them that are well over 500.
Oh, easy. You're talking about starting off at $1,200.
Yeah. So if it will say your house comes in at 600 grand, based on those numbers, you're talking, well, instead of 784, I think it is, or whatever, we'll say 800. Let's work on round numbers. They're easy to think about. Their increase is 1,600 for the year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's better than $100 a month.
Oh heck yes.
So.
Well, that's the problem that you have when you don't put this, and nothing aggravates me more than one of these clowns, and that's what they are, putting up on the screen, well, it's $1.65 a day. I don't want to hear that. I'm not buying siding. That's
Right.
an old siding trick.
Well, not only that, I'm not paying by the day.
Right. It's just a cup of coffee a day.
Yeah.
Please stop the nonsense. I don't treat me like an idiot because I know more than you do about this.
Well, I know that people use that for a lot of different things. People sell you insurance, they'll tell you,
Oh,
"Look,
absolutely.
it's a cup of coffee a day."
It used to be, the old joke was it used to be the siding guys.
Right.
That's how they did. Well, it's just a cup of coffee a day.
Yeah. The only thing is,
The problem is that,
there's 30 days in a month.
exactly, yeah. So the other thing that I had problems with yesterday is is what they're doing with the, there's no area in here for cost overruns. It's not in there. I looked at it, I went to the meetings, and there's no cost overruns built into this.
Well, I'm going to tell you that, well, I want to get right to the point here. If this does fail, and there's a possibility it may now at the ballot,
Oh, hell yes.
because people are pretty upset. By Gary's show, they were pretty upset. If it fails, it doesn't go away. The situation doesn't go away.
Oh, no. No.
And I don't foresee them going ahead and saying that, oh, well, we'll just fix those two up. I imagine they're going to go through the whole process once again and hope to get some from the state.
You're putting lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig.
Right. Well, I'm not. What they might have to do then is probably change, and I know you'd like this, change locations.
I would love that. And don't get me wrong. Not because it's in my backyard. I have a school. I love the school. It's great. The kids play in the summer. They play ball. It's a great thing to see.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good look. They can't build 950 houses behind my house. It's a
Right.
great thing. I like the school being there. I think it's a great thing. I just don't think it's smart to build a school next to a school that's sinking on a swamp. And when I asked the questions at the meetings at the Bomber School, none of those people could tell me how they were mitigating that swamp.
Well, I can tell you what you have to do with the same thing that was done by the White Machine Works, well, not by Cormac, is you got to go down to bedrock, and that's what they had. They had to sink pillars. The same thing with the gas station they just built.
You're not going to have a one-floor school now. You're going to have 3 floors. That's substantially more weight
Right.
on that property.
Right. But
So-
you got to go down to where you got a solid bottom,
Yeah.
so it doesn't sink, and that's not an easy thing to do,
No.
and not a cheap thing to do.
And look, they've done it with bridges in the water. They've done it with the piers. I mean, it can be done. The point
Right.
is, don't do what we did at the high school, where Roger Matthew and Ross Rajat and some of those other guys that have been here their whole lives said, "Hey, you can't put the school right there because there's ledge." No, no, no. We checked it out. What did we spend on ledge?
Oh.
$2 million.
Yep.
Because the ledge was there and they wouldn't listen. I deal with architects all the time, every day.
This seems to happen quite often.
Of course it does.
They ran into problems when they did DPW.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
We could have bought one, all done, existing, standing, that would have worked out well, but no, we couldn't do that.
Well, look at the Route 20, where they're putting the sewer treatment, sewer
Yeah.
lines. They did their borings. They did the boring on the side of the road.
Yeah,
When
I
they went to
know.
put the pipe in, they found out it was all ledge.
Right.
They had a blast.
Yeah.
It put $4 million more on the project. Who's paying for that? Guess. The ratepayers.
And they bore on the side. What do you think? The ledge is only it's gonna extend to the side?
No.
It's sometimes in the middle.
Yeah.
Could be anywhere.
Yep. Yep.
You got to bore where you're going to build.
That's right.
You know, but maybe this is, we do have another site that remember they looked at high school, looked at the site off of Providence Road,
Yeah.
but they said no, it's too much ledge. What did they end up with?
Ledge.
And we own that property. We paid what, $1 million for the high
Yep.
school property?
Yep.
So that would have been $1 million off the bill.
That's right. It's the biggest thing that's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. I have a real serious problem believing that this is going to pass. Misinformation was put out. People don't like it. You're putting so much burden on the taxpayer, and you weren't truthful.
Well, like I said, as far as I don't think that if it does fail, that we're going to see renovations done to the other 2 buildings, because that doesn't make much sense either. I think you're going to have to go back to the drawing boards and come up with another concept. Maybe a different place.
And let me tell you, the concept that they have, I have a copy of it right here. That's a beautiful That's a beautiful school.
Right.
The nice part about this is it gets the traffic off of Crescent Street.
Yeah.
Because Crescent Street from 7:30, 7:45
A nightmare.
to 9 to almost 9, no, quarter 9 is impassable.
Yeah.
You cannot.
Because everybody's
cannot
trying to
get by.
turn.
Yep.
You know what I can't believe? How many people bring their kids to school?
Oh, well. Well, what's the school rule on busing?
I know, you got to pay.
You got and your distance.
Yeah.
If you're within, what's it, a mile or is it 2 miles now?
I don't know.
It's either a mile or 2 miles. You're within that. You don't get busing anyway.
Right.
So
So a lot of people have no choice.
right, they're gonna drive them down there.
Right.
You've got all the buses, all the cars. Now you're gonna put more students in this school, and you're gonna have more buses and more school students. So the
But
way that they
do
plan
come,
doing
they
it.
come right across lake.
Well, no, what they're gonna do is they're gonna have a turnaround and a parking lot in here,
Right.
and the cars will only be allowed. I went to the meeting. The cars will only be allowed to go in one way, and the buses will only be allowed to go in one way.
Right.
So there'll be crisscrossing, but not in the same area, I guess. Whatever.
Right.
Again, this is a conceptual.
And they're not going to go down. Buses won't go down Crescent. The
No.
buses will go straight in
Right.
from Lake.
Which is a sin, because we just finished those 2 roads. You just finished Lake. You just did the bump outs, which are stupid, on Crescent Street. Now you're gonna. It's so hard for them to turn
They
now.
just did it, but what, the saw collapse there? The saw cover or something?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
I make
look
the
what
turn.
you
I hear
have.
kaplunk. What the? They go over the curbing?
Look at how much traffic you have there now.
Yeah.
You have so much bus and car traffic. It's unbelievable. Swift Road is a huge cut through to
Yep.
get to either the new Dunkin' Donuts or 146 or Walmart.
Yeah. It's always been that way since
Yep.
Walmart's been there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I thought the other article I kind of liked was 6. It was if you got this in your house and you read article number 6, and article number 6 basically says that individuals over 65 years of age can get an exemption
Right.
of $500 now. They
Yep.
want to boost it to $1,000,
Right. But you got to qualify.
but they didn't put in what the qualifications were. Stop lying to people. The qualifications are, if you're a single homeowner, you must make less than $20,000.
If you're a single person, married couple, I think it's 30.
$30,000. That's below the poverty line.
Well, yeah.
I get it, and that's good for those. It helps those people. But when people read this, they're like, "I want to vote for this." Doesn't help the average person. It doesn't
Well,
hurt
no.
anybody that's got money in the bank. Has
No.
has a pension. I mean, you figure it out. If you make $2,000 a month times 12,
Yeah.
okay, you're done. So that means you can't have Social Security, you can't have any pension or any
Well,
past
Social
bank account.
Security doesn't go that high.
Sure it does.
Well, it might go high for some, but for the most part, they average out around 15,000 a month, 1,500 a month.
Yeah, well, some people have 2,000 to 2,400 that have had a reasonable history.
Yeah.
You're done. You're not getting this. And now $1,000 would cost the town $500 per person, because this isn't covered by the state anymore. This is covered by the town.
Right. The town has to eat it. Well, same with the if you work for the town,
Right.
you can get an exemption.
Right. But that saves the town a lot, because you could do some
Right.
filing for them, answer the phones, and they're not paying your health insurance or any of that.
Right.
You're donating your time it's like in lieu of taxes.
Right.
That's right. It's
Right.
the old in lieu of taxes situation. So it works out. No, nobody's pissed.
Oh, they were on Gary's, but Gary was mad because he said that he misrepresented, because he went with the fact that it was $584, whatever it was, for the entire term, and now it's not, because it changes after 15 years, then it goes down. It goes down below that 500 mark, because if it's averaged, obviously it's going to be less than that to bring the average to 500. But Hey, I'm 70 years old. Maybe I won't be paying after 15 years.
You're stubborn. You're not going anywhere. You're still doing things. You're not going anywhere.
But, I mean, the thing is that you don't, it was not, I could understand how it would be hard to explain it and would confuse people because it is confusing. But you have to do the best that you can
Harry,
and not keep it
confuse
secret.
people. 1, 2, 3. 3 pages of stuff on one article. I mean, you can't be more confused than how the way these things are written. They're written by lawyers.
Right. Well, you have to do lorries. I mean, with the marijuana law.
Oh, that was awful.
But you know what? That's what the Cannabis Control Commission Bureau, whatever they call them, CCB or whatever. That's what they require.
Yep.
You have to do it that way. If you don't do it that way, you're not meeting their requirements.
By the way, the town moderator did a nice job yesterday.
He did.
I didn't agree with the going through introducing everybody. That's his choice.
Yep.
But I don't. If you don't know who the people who are running your town are, shame on you.
Well, there's probably a lot of people that were there that night that didn't.
Well, that's and shame on them.
Right.
You're paying taxes in this town. You don't know who's running the town.
Right.
That's shame on you.
But I mean, you had a lot of people there that never voted on it. Probably never voted in the town election. Because I don't think we get that big a turnout.
Nope. No. You had a big turnout last night.
It was a huge turnout.
Over 600 people.
Still haven't beat the racetrack.
Oh, I walked in. The first person I saw was the chief, and I said, "Hey, reminds me of the racetrack days." And he goes, "Yeah, I know. hope there's no fights."
We didn't have a field house then.
No, it was the
middle school.
gym.
What is the middle school now?
Yeah, the gym.
And they had to use the gym and the auditorium.
Auditorium. Yeah, we had separate things.
Yeah. That was and that was a bigger turnout. Remember, they were lined up down the street.
Oh, it was crazy.
It really was.
It was crazy.
But I mean, the town clerk did a good job of getting everybody in. The hand
love the
stamp was
stamp.
a good idea because you didn't get a ballot.
Okay.
That was when in case of the secret ballot. To get the ballot, you had to show your stamp,
Oh,
and then they gave you a ballot.
interesting.
So that no one that was not a registered voter could get up there and get a ballot.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. She's amazing.
She does a great
We're very
job.
lucky.
Does a great
Very
job.
lucky. Her, Sharon. What's that town manager's name? Yeah, that I like to give Adam a hard time.
He's a former town planner.
I know. It's great. Good for him. I'm glad he did well. He's a good guy.
Yep.
He does a good job. He knows the town already. So
Right.
it's not like he was coming into something he didn't know.
Exactly.
That was a good one. I was glad that happened.
But people still say to me, "We don't get a town planner that lives in town." I said, "We did once, and they fired him.
Yep. Yeah.
That's why no one will live in town."
Wow.
That's true though.
Yeah.
But
Hey, just in case you haven't had a Jethro sighting, I see him all the time.
you do.
He's the golf coach for Oxford.
Oh. He play up at your course?
He can't play.
Oh, he
He's got a
can't.
bad shoulder.
Oh.
How do you have a golf coach who doesn't golf?
How does he show? How did he show him how to swing?
He doesn't. I just see him all the time. So apparently he's living in Oxford now.
Oh, okay. Well, he's teaching in Oxford.
Yes. Yeah.
But-
Too funny. He walks in. I'm like, "What are you doing here?" So I'm the golf coach. I'm like, "What?"
He
You
is a
golf? He
nice-
goes, "I can't."
He's a nice guy.
Oh, he's a
though.
nice guy. He's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
But I was just shocked. He's such a big guy. You're like, "You're going to
Oh,
teach
yeah.
kids how to golf?" He goes,
Yeah.
"No, I can't swing a club." I said, "Oh, good for them." They have a good pro up there, and he spent a lot of time with the kids.
Oh,
So
okay.
they worked out okay.
But I'll tell you, I was happy that the last article, Article 13, passed unanimously. And if you're not familiar with that, that was to give a TIF to the veterinary Dr.
Yep.
Sean Sawyer, who
Yep.
bought the hospital. Because let me tell you, that would have sat there.
Oh yeah.
who the hell's going to buy that place?
No.
And for the 100 years that it was there, that's how many tax dollars we got. Zero. Because it belonged to a nonprofit, and they paid no taxes. So now it's occupied by a company, they're paying taxes. And he paid $1 million. He's got over $1 million invested in that. So, he's created jobs in town.
Good.
And he's paying taxes now. So give the guy a little bit of a break. Let him get him on his feet.
Yep.
He's got a big loan to pay back.
I guess.
And so I say, give him some business. What the heck? and it's something we could use. You can do the daycare there where.
Yeah, I tell you what, it just boggles my mind how much money people spend on their doggy daycare.
Oh, people spend on their dogs like they do better than they do on their kids sometimes. That's why a big thing now is pet insurance.
Oh, yeah. Well, you go in and you have a dog go into anesthesia for whatever.
Yeah.
It's $400 or $500.
Yeah.
You go to Tufts.
Oh.
You go to Tufts. The first thing they ask you for is your credit card, and they hit it for $500.
Yep.
No
Just walking in
asked.
the door.
Just walking in the door.
Yep.
$500 for a dog,
Yeah.
or a cat, or a parakeet, whatever.
I know. So that's why you need pet insurance.
Oh yeah.
And the other thing, I want to, before I forget, next week is the grand opening of the new gas station. They wanted to open and get things, get everything organized.
The one by me.
Yeah.
Nice people.
Yeah. Oh, really nice people. They're very they're class act. They do, everything is top shelf with them.
They're giving out Halloween bags with safety tips on them already. Already.
You know what else?
What?
Halloween Day, from 2 to 5, free face painting. They're going to have someone down there who does face painting. That's the way to go trick-or-treating. Don't wear a mask. The mask can be dangerous. You don't have the peripheral vision, and sometimes it can drop and you don't see. You might not see where you're walking. Face painting, you got your mask right on your face. You can see perfect. Great thing to do, and it won't cost anything.
That's awesome.
They're doing it for free, and they're going to have a clown there that does tie.
The balloons?
The balloon twist. That's all on Halloween Day.
Nice.
For the kids. So it's a trick or treat for the kids. It's a treat for the kids.
And one of the biggest areas to go trick or treating is
The
right
village.
down the block.
Yeah.
Oh no, Whiten Woods.
Oh, Whiten Woods.
Oh my God. They're lined up. We literally have a cop there every year.
Really? Well,
Well,
it's not much of a walk for them to come down.
Nope.
And it's during the day.
Yep.
2 to 5, so the sun's still up.
Good.
And they have, you got a raffle going on. They're going to have discounts on gas, 10 cents off a gallon, I think, something like that.
Okay.
Which is already low.
Oh yeah, it's $2.62.
Yeah.
I was there tonight. That's where I was before I
Yeah.
came here.
Yeah. They're the
I have to
lowest
get-
in town.
Unfortunately, I have to get gas every day.
Oh. So, I mean, they're doing a great job for the town. And it's beautiful.
It's
What
a
a
pretty
nice,
place.
lot better looking than it was.
The old Hathaways.
Yeah.
That was a really. I was astounded that they got away with building that building there. They must have had to take so much contaminated soil out of there.
They did.
Because it was, for years all of that oil leaching
It
into the ground.
added $80,000 to the cost.
Wow.
Because they had to take the soil out and bring clean soil in. It was extremely expensive.
It's funny because when you look at Dunkin' Donuts down on Providence Road, it was always a line there.
Yeah.
Now there's a line there.
Yeah.
Because it's easy. You get right. The people get their coffee, get a donut, or get a bagel, whatever they're getting, and head out to 146.
Well, if you look, you'll see that we made it possible for the line to be as long as possible. The window is right at the end.
Yep.
So you got plenty of room to back up. And in the planning board, we took that all into consideration. These were all things that we looked at because it is a tight spot that we're trying to get into. But I think it worked out well, and it seems to be working well.
Yeah, it seems to be good.
Yeah. So, and like I said, it looks a lot better than what was. And it's a gateway into town.
And not only that, but you're employing a lot more people.
Yes. Yeah. fact, as soon as they opened, they were looking for help. So
There isn't a
people had-
business now that isn't looking for help.
I know. Huh?
That's awful.
You can't find anyone. And on top of that, we're getting a new fence around on the arcade pond.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was approved. That was approved at the Maytown meeting, and it's finally good. I hit him up last night about it. The DPW, not DPW record, but the highway superintendent. He says it's out. They're supposed to get started. It's going to be a guardrail there, as opposed to that fence, wire fence.
Oh, the chain link fence isn't going to be there anymore?
No,
Interesting.
that'll be a guardrail. The electric pond's getting a new one, but that'll be a chain link. So they both get new fences because those are gateways in town. Let's clean it up. Let's start making the town look good.
Mm-hmm.
We
It's
got
a whole lot easier to weed whack behind a guardrail than
oh,
it is
yeah.
a wire fence.
yeah. Also, they can come in with that
Yeah.
cutter they got with the long arm on it
Yep.
and cut and clean that up. We got a building coming in for repair shop, car wash at the West End School location, so that'll get cleaned up.
Boy, does that make me nauseous.
Yeah, it could have been a nice fire station.
It would have been a beautiful enough fire station, but some people just didn't get it.
Yep.
So now we still have a condemned fire station, folks.
Yeah.
It's a condemned building that you have your first responders in overnight.
That we have to spend money repairing all the time.
How about how much it costs us in oil?
Oh,
Do you know how much it costs in oil per year for that thing? Look it up, folks. Look it up. I won't even tell you. Look it up. It's exorbitant.
yeah, because you know that building was never built for expensive oil. It was built when oil was cheap.
Right.
Actually,
Plus
it
the
wasn't
fact you have
when it
all
was-
single glazed windows. You have all garage doors. You have brick that is just falling apart. Now you got people living there because you got 24-hour shifts.
Actually, when it was built, it was heated by steam from the White Machine Works.
Hmm.
White Machine Works heated the fire station, the town hall, the gym. So they had steam pipes running to each one of them. Didn't cost the town anything
Yeah.
up until
Now, isn't that weird? You have all of these people that care about the town and the children, and they wouldn't vote for a fire station, which costs you maybe $2 million.
well, I don't know. No, we don't know that because the fire station hasn't come up because they don't know where to put it.
Sure, do you know? Well, you can put it across the street and take that by eminent domain.
Yeah, but they don't want to do that because he said he'll give them a fight and a half on
No.
that. And
I knew that this was going to come up this year. You know how I knew? Because I saw who went from the school department, the school board, to the building planning construction committee. Soon as you bring one of the people from that was planned. He was planned to jump from one to the other and then force the school issue in. I was born at night, but it wasn't last night.
but I don't know. There's place in town when you could build that fire station. We just got to do it.
Yeah.
But look at how long did it take to build a DPW garage?
Ugh. People
How many
just-
years did that go on?
People don't understand that if you don't start doing this stuff in this town, I mean, it's embarrassing to go by the fire station in Douglas, knowing what we have.
Yeah.
And they built that, and it's easy in, easy out. I mean, did you ever see them pull the ladder truck in and out?
Oh, it's hard. It's
You
hard.
have to pull it out, back it up, and then go.
Yeah.
To put it back in, you have to back it, pull it straight, and then back it in.
Because it wasn't designed
No.
for it.
Oh, I know. It's just absurd.
I mean, and that issue's going to come up again. It's
It
got
has
to come
to.
up again.
Well, you know what's going to happen? You know when it's going to come to fruition? When somebody gets seriously hurt and sues the town for their injuries. Because those steps going upstairs are crumbling. I mean, your electrical wires are out in the open. You can't use the other floor because they used to do the operation graduation.
Right.
You can't do that anymore because the elevator doesn't work.
Where they move them to?
I don't know. I don't. I think they've been doing it in. Somebody told me they were doing them in the roller rink place in Milford. They don't do it at the Whiten Community Center anymore.
They're in Milford?
Yeah.
What a pain in the neck that's got to be.
This is to keep the kids in town. You take them to another town.
Yeah.
That's what I had heard. I don't have any kids in school, so I don't know. But I know they don't do
Well,
what we used to do.
I mean, I don't know where else they could possibly go.
That's why you have the Whiten Community Center. We do a lot with it. You know, should be a part of the town. Should be supporting it.
Yeah. Well, I think they get they get a lot of support from people in town.
I know. I'm saying it should be hand in hand. That's
Right.
Operation Graduation is a productive program so that the kids don't get hurt.
Oh, don't
after
they have it at the
graduation.
community center now?
No. The last few years, from what I've understood from people who talk to me, it's been at the roller rink in Milford.
Or where they have the night ceremony?
Yes.
I'm talking about where they store all their material.
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I'm wondering.
I don't think you can go upstairs anymore. I think
Yeah,
that's
so-
been stopped. I know they had this company called Berkowitz Trucking. They put a couple of dumpsters out there and emptied a ton of stuff into the dumpsters. Yeah, I've been up there in a long time. Well, I don't want to go up there. That whole place is falling apart.
Well, it's the outside's falling off. Remember, last winter they had to
Yeah.
cone it off so no one would get hurt.
Nothing like a brick off the top of the head, huh?
Yeah. No, it's got to be something done. And
You have to invest in your town. It's like your house. Nobody likes to put a roof on. But if it leaks, you're in bigger trouble. So you have to invest in your town.
well, now there was talk if the school went through, and we still don't know what's going to happen. Cross Street, that building's going to, it could be raised and a fire station put there. But now, I mean, I'm wondering how much the people will support if their taxes are going up that much.
Try to think of how you would do Cross Street with a fire station.
Well, it would set back.
Yeah, but you can't go in and out then. You still have to back in.
Well, I don't
You
know.
don't have enough room in the back.
You might have.
Unless you took the administration building down too.
But there again, that one can't come down because it's a historic building.
Well, that certainly does put a wrench into that.
That was one of the Whitens.
Yeah. It's you're getting older buildings. You have to do something with them.
I said down in Plumbers somewhere, but then they said, well, no, the traffic is too heavy. Well, God, it's pretty heavy on Church Street, too.
You put up lights,
On
just
Main
like every
Street.
other town.
Yeah. Because if you did central location like that, you could
You
eliminate
only need one.
the substation.
Yep, you only need one.
Right.
I wouldn't be happy about that. I get an insurance discount for being that close to the fire station.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I still have a fire hydrant in front of my house.
Right. Right, which still gives you
Yep.
a discount. But the thing is,
No, you got to do what's right. You
Yeah.
got to get it done.
I mean, you can't put it in Linwood because that's going too far away.
Way too far. You can't get to the most important places.
Right. So it is a problem. Now, the commercial property off of Church Street and Providence Road that was in there that did fail. Well, it's now residential, but they were looking to make it into commercial. But that was brought in a number of years ago as well.
Yes.
In fact, Walgreens at the time was interested in going in there. And it didn't pass then, so I don't know what's going to happen. There's a new owner, well, he owned it for a few years now. He may end up putting houses in there.
Great.
Wow, nobody wants to sit on their empty lot.
Oh, hell no.
No. That's what I said, Riverdale, the property in Riverdale is rezoned to I-2, and believe me, it came up by one of the abutters, the daughter of an abutter, said that, wow, it's I-2, and they said it's only light industry, but by special permit, you can put heavy industry in there. Let me tell you something. It's not that easy to get the special permit.
No.
And I'm on a planning board, and I know the current board would never go for it.
What do you call heavy industry versus light industry?
Well, heavy industry would be like Riverdale Mill.
Okay.
Heavy machinery. Light industry is probably assembly,
Packaging.
packaging, warehousing, and it's not heavy manufacturing. It's not large machinery working. You don't have the big smokestacks or anything like that. Now they can actually locate the marijuana cultivation there, which
That was quite an interesting discussion. That guy wanted, well, if you put it in B2, you're not getting it in B2.
no,
No, it's just not happening. There's too many
Well,
restrictions.
no, the cultivation I don't believe can go in B2. It's retail can go in B2. The cultivation has to go into one of the industrial zones, and that's why he wanted to make it I2. And I think we should, if you go up above, where Kern's Auto Body is,
Mm-hmm.
the former vet,
Mm-hmm.
and then the tent place as well as Catalina's. That's all zone residential.
Is it really? I
Yeah.
did not know that.
That should be redone.
Huh.
That should be made B2.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I think it should be B2 from Curran's to the cemetery.
Sure. It should.
Yeah. And then he's got an easement through there. Actually, he's got an easement through Curran's for that property. That Jim Knott owned where the vet was. When he sold it, he kept an easement and access to his property below. He also has one at next to the cemetery, because you see the road going in.
Yes.
He also has one further down after the cemetery, because you see the sign that says Rockdale Rod and Gun.
Right.
Well, that's a roadway in. And he's got the roadway off of Riverdale Street. So he has 4 easements in there. If that would have stayed housing, he had 4 ways of getting at that housing. He could put quite a few multi-families, because it's R3, it would have been all multi-families. He could have put
Wow.
quite a few in there. Now he's interested in getting some money out of it, and they're gonna lease the property, but they're gonna lease to possibly own at one point, so that they don't get stuck with somebody coming in and buying it and doubling the rent. Obviously, they want to make sure that they're going to have first dibs if they're in for the long term with that cultivation.
That's great. Hey, people have this weird idea about the marijuana cultivation that everybody's going to be walking around stoned.
Yeah.
That's not what it's for.
No.
It's when you start using some of this stuff for anxiety, you take a gummy bear, you take a brownie, or you take a cookie. There's most of the cultivation is to break it down to make edibles. Edibles help people with cancer, sleep apnea, anxiety. It's so many things. And I've had this we happen to have a young lady in this town who came from this town who happens to be the head of pharmacology for the state of Massachusetts.
Oh.
She has 2 PhDs, not 1, 2. She is a brilliant young lady. And I had a long sit down, I've known her since she's a baby. And I had a long talk with her. I said, explain this to me. Like, what is the deal with this edibles and all that? She goes, okay, let's differentiate between the 2. The smoking is still ruining your lungs. Anything you put in your lungs is no good.
Right.
The edibles are a different breed, because what happens is you don't get the high as much, but you do get the beneficial entities. And she said to me, she looked me right in the face and she said, because I'm not very smart, she said, what is it that everybody that has cancer, sleep apnea, and anxiety don't have? And I really didn't know. I said, you got me. I don't know. Good sleep. I said, what? She goes, if you don't get good sleep, your body can't fight what's wrong. Your body can't regenerate itself to fight what's going on. She said, well, you take one of these gummy bears and stuff like that, you get real good sleep.
Yeah.
And you get, I was like, okay.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. And I seen the rules. I mean, you see how long that bylaw. You
It's
see
awful.
the rules they got from the state.
Yeah.
So, number one, they only harvest a couple of times a year, and the stuff goes out in a Brinks truck. Because like he was telling us, it's worth the same per pound as gold.
Oh, yeah.
So they ship it out. It doesn't take a big package,
No.
and they ship it out in Brinks trucks. In fact, the retail places, they prefer to use old banks. So I told them, we got one right down here in Plumbers.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Just think about that. They could go into the recreational place, they could get high, and go right to Burger King.
Right. Yeah, get something to eat.
You know, it's funny. We talk about the town stuff, and you talk to a lot of people, and I'm sure you've heard this before. What people are, what do we need in this town? What do we need in this town? And you know what people have been constantly saying to me? A decent place to eat.
Well, I don't know what's going on, but I saw them moving some restaurant equipment into the former Sammy's.
Okay.
And I know that someone from Connecticut was looking at the former Brian's.
Yeah, the old Bryans, but they gotta just gut it to the bone.
Yeah.
They gotta gut the whole place. I mean, the one that's I always laugh about this because I say that the building's haunted. The one on 146 going south, they just turned it to brickstones.
Going south.
Yeah. Okay, you know where Lenny's Liquors is?
Yeah.
The next building. It was Honeydew. It was all different
okay, the
places.
Blackstone
Right.
Cafe.
What was there way before all of them?
Oh God, you want to wait? JJ's?
Yeah.
Yeah, JJ's.
Remember how JJ's ended up?
Yeah,
The one partner blew the other partner up?
Yeah.
Well, actually, the one partner blew himself up trying to blow the other partner up.
Yeah.
I swear there's a ghost in there, and that's why they never make it. But this new place is
Before
great.
JJ's, that was a Sutton Canteen.
No kid, you go way back.
Yeah, back in the 30s, that was a hot spot.
Really?
Yeah.
But this new place
That was one
is
of the
terrific.
bars that opened up after the Prohibition ended.
The new place, Brickstones, is great. That's what we need here. Some young chef that wants to do something positive and have some fun.
Bridgestone?
Brickstones.
Brickstone.
Instead of Blackstone, it's
Oh,
Brickstone.
Brickstone, yeah. Oh, somebody opening it up?
It's open. It's been open for probably 3 months, 2 months.
Oh, I didn't even know it was
Oh,
open.
you can't get in the place.
Really?
You can't get in the
The
place.
former Blackstone. Really?
You cannot get in the place.
And prior to that was Honeydew.
Yeah.
Yeah, where a good friend of ours got in trouble. Remember that?
Yep. Yep.
Throwing his coffee out.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, and it didn't make it as that. Well, they said it killed him when they stopped the U-turn.
Yeah.
And so
Well, now we have two brand new roundabouts.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Have you been down that the exit at the bottom of the hill from Main Street?
On
Have you
Millbury?
been? Yeah. Have you been to
Yeah,
that?
I know.
That is absurd.
I know.
They're about as big as this room,
Yeah.
and you got to get around it in the car.
Yeah.
And well, they want to put a roundabout down here.
That's what they want to put.
Yeah.
At the end of Quaker Street. At the
no,
end of Church Street.
No. At Sutton Street.
Oh, down here.
Yeah, down at Sutton Street.
Well, they were same thing at the end of Church Street, where it hits Quaker.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, they would, but the state wouldn't fund it. But that was proposed there. And yeah, can you imagine down? But what else could they do down there?
I don't know. It's like they're going to fix Kelly Square.
Yeah,
How?
that's what you're going to see there too.
Yeah.
A roundabout. That's going to be even worse.
Oh, it's going to be awful.
What they got to do at Kelly Square is take some of those streets that enter into there
And make them one way.
and make them one way going the other way.
Yep. That is Water Street's one way.
Yeah.
They're going to tear down that hotel, the Vernon Hotel.
I know, a landmark.
Yeah. That place is such a dump. Good Lord.
That was the location of the yacht club.
Oh no! Oh, that's funny.
And you know why? Because right underneath it is the Blackstone Canal.
Yeah.
Hey, we got
The
a call
yacht-
here.
Cool.
They call it the last minute, unfortunately, but. Go ahead, call. You're on.
Hi, Harry. Hi, Russ. How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Russ, can I throw away my milk cartons now with your face on?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. It's got to be pretty stinky by now.
Well, good to see you.
Thank you. Good to hear from you.
Are you going to be back regularly,
Yeah, I'm going to try and be
sporadically,
back regularly unless I have to go out of town.
All right, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I think the reason you're not getting any calls because people are watching a Red Sox game.
Why, is there a Red Sox game out tonight?
Yep.
I know, it was last night
Trust
too,
me.
but they came to the town meeting.
Trust me. I couldn't wait to get out of there last night. I'm like, I'm going to watch the game. Hopefully nothing's happening yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say I called Gary's show earlier and listened to that and watched that, and they had a pretty interesting show. But I did not go to the town meeting last night, and I did read the paper this morning, and I did talk to a couple of people, and then I heard more information on Gary's show, and this is not good. This is not a good situation.
No.
I have watched many a forum, many a school building committee meeting, tried to stay informed on everything. And I really think, and I have given them credit overall, I think they've done a good job. They've been out front on things.
Well,
But
how come this didn't come out when they did the high school?
it didn't come out, they didn't come out front on this part of it. And, you know, like I've said before, I go out to eat. I don't care what the drink cost, the dessert cost, the entree cost. The only thing I care about is how much is the bill. So I think a lot of people are going to be upset, and rightfully so.
But my point, they said that's the same type of loan they took for the high school. And yet nobody questioned it then.
Nobody questioned if nobody understood the fact that it was a graduated loan
Right,
or a descending loan, whichever way you want to look at it.
right.
But that was, that was a hell of a sell by a couple of people.
But also it was 80%
Right.
reimbursement.
A whole different world. It was $28 million.
Yeah,
You're talking about $51 million.
right.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, you're doubling it.
And it was 20 years, 25,
20 years.
20 years. You're talking an extra 10 years. That's a lot of money. These schools are getting ridiculous. And some of the safety measures that they're putting into this thing, I questioned immensely. It just, they were talking about school guard throughout the whole school. You can't have that. That's illegal. I mean, it makes everybody feel good, but it's not a product you can use anywhere but in the vestibule. I mean, it's if there's a fire, nobody's getting in. You're not getting in.
Right.
So yeah, this is going to be a problem.
You still
Well, I
with?
just wanted to call in and, say hi to you, Russ.
I'm glad you did.
And as always, Harry, thank you for putting on all the programs you put on. It's a big service to the town, and I enjoy your programs. And who do you have on tomorrow night?
Mike Moore,
Mike Moore. Okay.
Senator Mike Moore.
Okay. And like I said,
Next week we may have Joe Sazula, how do you say his name? Sazula, the chairman of the building committee.
yeah.
He might be here. He's supposed to be, I asked him if he could be here tonight, and he couldn't make it, but he might try to make it for next week. And then it's up in the air on next Thursday if I have a guest or not. And if I don't, I can put him on Thursday night. I'm giving him, I have someone that wants to come in. They're a candidate for a state senate, but it's not in our district.
Oh,
And I think they were confused. They thought they were going to be on the radio because I do a radio show.
right.
No, it's not the radio show.
You're a star of many mediums.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to call in and just kind of chime in
Cool.
with. I was not there to vote last night. You can yell and scream at me all you want, but I have followed it. Like I said, when I heard the news today about how it's front loaded and all that, I just don't think they've been upfront with people. And this is a much larger project than $28 million and 83% reimbursement.
I got to say, though, after that came out, it still was an overwhelming vote for.
Well, they were there. And we've talked about this, all of us, before. It was a packed meeting. It was
Right.
packed for one thing. You got the teachers, you got the parents of students. They all rallied around to have this happen, and they were all part of it. Half of those people didn't even know how a town meeting ran. I
Right.
mean, it's just, they were out there for this
But
one
here
purpose.
again now, if people don't get out and vote,
Oh, yeah.
those people who show up to the meeting are going to vote.
Yeah, well,
So if people don't get out and vote, they
Well,
just
when-
say to heck with it.
let me tell you something. When you start getting into people's pockets, they're going to vote.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean,
Yeah.
the early voting has been almost none. It's early voting at the town hall. And it's an opportunity to get down. You don't have to wait in line. You go right into the office. They'll give it a ballot. You fill it out, and she puts it in an envelope.
That's awesome.
But
Well, I think you're going to have a large turnout. Like I said, with the sticker shock of 100 million, I think people are going to come out and vote, and that'll be where the story will be told. But this latest information is not going to be helpful.
Nope.
It's going to be helpful towards the yes vote. So, all right, I'll let you guys go. And Russ, good to see you.
Good to see you.
okay, see
Enjoy
you
the
later,
game.
baby. Go Sox. Yeah, it's a tough week for meetings going on, but I think it's only going to be 4 games anyway.
I hope so. I hope so. They're
If
playing.
If they played like they played last night.
They're playing phenomenal. They're just, you know what? They're having fun
Yeah,
and playing well.
yeah,
How do you beat that?
I know.
I mean, who in their right mind would have thought last night you put in Eduardo Nunez as a pinch hitter and he blasts one? I'm like, what? How did you think of this? You know?
It's amazing.
them.
They're an amazing team. They're really an amazing team.
Yeah.
And look at
108 wins and they could have been more.
yeah,
But he pulled a lot of guys out
Yeah.
to rest them, which he should. And I think this guy Sale is hot shit. Oops. He's a hot ticket. he just, I mean, who in the world?
we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah,
Russ
well.
is going to do it again
Very
today.
well. But to come up with the why he was in the hospital to have a belly button ring. I mean, that's just funny. That's just, and they all ran with it. Oh my God, he had a belly button ring. No, he didn't. He was goofing on you and you sucked into it. I love it.
It's a great time to be a sports lover in Boston
Oh, yeah.
because the Pats are hot.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you're coming up to the Bruins and the Celtics.
Bruins and Celtics are doing well. So it's a good time to be in Boston. There's
Yeah.
no two ways about that. I mean, but I think the Patriots Sunday's the night game.
No, it's Monday night.
Monday night game. Yeah, I get mixed up on the dates. I'm getting so confused lately. It's been a long month. But anyway, they're playing in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo, lousy team. But that's when they lose. They go up against a team they should blow out of the water, and they blow it. Then you take Kansas City, which they should have.
They're the top team in the
Yeah.
league right now.
Yeah, and they beat them.
Yep.
So I mean, how do you figure them?
Don't play down to your competitors.
No,
Play up. Always
Yeah.
play up.
I know, but
I think it's funny that they had Belichick do the lead-in to the Red Sox last night. He's so dry, it's hysterical. It's just so funny. That's a great team, and
I know.
okay, you're putting me to sleep. Stop.
You gotta wonder does this man ever get excited about anything?
I have heard from people that have been in social events with him, and they say he's a funny guy. When he has
Yeah.
nothing to do with sports and he hates the media. He just hates the media.
Yep.
He has nothing to do with that stuff. He's a funny guy.
Oh.
I guess when you get into that realm, you're in that realm, and that's what you deal with.
Well, anyway, it's a lot of stuff going on in town, so we talk town all night here, and I know.
And we'll continue.
Yeah, because there is a lot of stuff going on. A lot of questions are going to be answered. Boy, in 2 weeks. Well, less than 2 weeks now.
Less than 2 weeks.
Boy, time is going by. This, what is it? November 6th. So it's almost as late as it could be. I think November 8th is the latest you can have an election. So I just want to get. I'm going to go vote early because I just want to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
And
It is
why?
really a good idea.
Yeah, why not? She's
Then
even
you don't
gonna
have to worry about that day.
She's going to have a Saturday voting
Wow.
in the morning.
She did such a good job.
Yeah. And you can get down and no line. It's out of the way. You don't have to think about it anymore.
I'll tell you a funny story quick. So I'm up at the golf course, and I talk to a bunch of, I'm always, I'm on the bar and talking to guys and different guys, and a lot of guys have played for years. Years. I've known them for years. And one of the guys comes to me and he goes, somebody said you live in Northbridge. I said, yeah. He said, do you know Doreen? I'm like, yeah. I was on the board of selectmen. He goes, that's my sister.
Really?
Never made the connection.
No
Never
kidding.
made the connection. Great guy, nice guy, but it's like, I love
Yeah,
Doreen.
she's not from Northbridge, right?
No, he's from Leicester. So I'm thinking they're out Oxford, Leicester way. But I was like, talk about a small world. But I didn't say anything bad.
Yeah, you got to be careful what you say about anybody because you never know who you're talking to.
Yep. It's a very, very small world.
Yes. Yeah. Doreen's due to retire, but I think Linda will be fine
amazing.
to take over.
That's truly amazing.
Yeah. Time flies.
I don't blame her. I mean, if you get out, get out. Except for our chief of police. He wants more time. It's a business I don't want to be in.
I know, huh? Yeah, I mean, he could leave at any time.
He by rights, they want you out by 65.
Right.
He has a contract to go to 67 now, which is way past what you're supposed
I
to.
think you have to do town meeting vote on that.
Yeah.
And then he has to get the legislature to okay
Right.
it.
Right.
Because that would
But they
happen
gave
to
him
the former fire chief, Con Madigan.
Oh, I know. I was the deciding vote.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna wrap it up. We don't
Have
have
a
a
good night.
long. We don't have a long ending like Paul has. We're
Okay.
not playing the music. We just say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
We'll see you next week. Russ will be here
Absolutely.
next week. All right.
Yeah.
Next week, and maybe Joe. I forget how I say his name now.
Good luck.
Double L, double Z. That's what Paul calls him.
Double O, double Z.
He'll
Awesome.
be here, and hopefully he'll come in next week, and we can talk about this because hey, he's still got a chance to get something done, get it over the line for him. But I'll tell you, a lot of people are upset.
Yep. Hey, be careful this weekend. Nor'easter coming in.
Yeah,
Be safe.
Nor'easter, and be careful next Tuesday night. There'll be kids all over the street.
Yep.
Take it easy with them. It gets dark early.
Yeah, it does.
You're on your way home, and that's when kids are out trick-or-treating now.
Don't want any accidents.
No, we don't want any loss of life. We'll see you next week.